You're listening to the Balanced Educator Podcast, episode number 141. Welcome to the Balanced Educator. We're your hosts, Kaylee
and Josiane from Educalm. Our intention is to equip and empower you to feel more calm, balanced, and joyful in all aspects of your life.
Hello there and welcome! We are so happy to have you here with us today. So, the biggest hurdle that teachers tell us they come up to when starting a mindfulness practice in their classroom is just getting started. It's that fear of the first lesson. How do you introduce it to your students so that they'll be on board and understand the benefits of this practice? How do you introduce it if you don't feel totally confident in the mindfulness practice yourself? Maybe you're new to mindfulness as well and you don't feel like you're enough of an expert to be able to really teach it to your students. Well, we've decided to completely remove this barrier for you by creating an introduction to mindfulness video lesson. So it's a specific video lesson that you can show to your students to give them the pre-teaching they need to have a successful mindfulness routine, whether you're teaching in person or online. So this can be used in multiple ways. So with this video, all you have to do is press play. You don't have to be the expert. You don't have to do any prep. Just press play. So in this episode, I'm going to explain why we included what we did within this video lesson so you get an understanding of the why. And I'm going to talk about how to use it in your classroom and how it fits together with our basic, free, and our complete Educalm mindfulness program. We're also including the audio version of this video right in the episode, so you can get an idea of what's in store for you and your students when you press play on the video in class. So this can basically be your prep, and you can just jump right into sharing this with your students in class. So we've created 2 introduction videos for you, one for younger grades, so that would be elementary school and possibly middle school, depending on the maturity of your group, which we'll be talking about and sharing in this episode. And then we've created a second version for older grades. So I would say that's about middle to high school. And I'll be talking about that and sharing about that in the next episode. Both versions are already up on the Educalm Classroom website. So if you can't wait until next week to hear about the high school version, you want to jump in with this right away, you can definitely go check it out on the website and use it right away. So if you teach in middle years, I would suggest that you take a look at both videos and determine which version is the best fit for your students. Both are definitely great for middle school. It's just kind of up to you to choose your favorite and what you think will be the best fit. So before we get into the episode, we're excited to share this week's sponsor. This year is our opportunity to equip our students and ourselves with the tools we all need to be resilient, to have a growth mindset, to have breathing strategies for stressful situations, and to spread kindness and compassion. The thing is, with so much on our plates this year, we need resources that are simple, ready to use, and save us time and energy. Luckily, Educalm Classroom checks off all those boxes. Educalm Classroom is the social emotional learning program that gives you a ready-to-use mindfulness lesson for every day of the school year. All you have to do is press play and enjoy 5 minutes of calm with your K-12 students, in English or en français. Once you've listened to the daily audio, you and your students will both feel ready for a productive school day. Think you don't have time to invest in social emotional learning? Think again. Teachers that use Educalm Classroom report that they gain instruction and prep time back. Brandy, a grade 2 teacher, told us, "We invest in this time and got it back tenfold." Emily told us, "My students are better able to focus and learn in the mornings after our practice, which means less classroom management for me." Whether you're back in the classroom with your students this year or doing remote teaching, Educalm Classroom is the resource that you can depend on to help your students feel calm, focused, and ready to learn. Sign up for Educalm Classroom now by going to www.educalm.com. Plus, we want to help you feel completely confident using Educalm Classroom to support mental health and well-being this year. So when you sign up for Educalm Classroom before October 31st, 2021, we'll send you our Educalm Classroom Level 1 online training, a $99 value, for free. You can watch this training video from the comfort of your own home or classroom and feel totally confident using Educalm Classroom with your students. What are you waiting for? Make this the year you prioritize student well-being as the foundation for calm and focused learning. Sign up for your Educalm Classroom membership today at www.educalm.com. That's spelled EDUCALME.com. All right. So we are just so excited to share this video lesson with you. It's been something that we've been wanting to create for a while, because sometimes we get that feedback from teachers where they just are scared to get started. They don't feel comfortable doing that first lesson, and that's the only thing holding them back. We've always had a ready-to-use lesson in our Educalm Classroom program that's meant to be used as an introduction lesson, but it was more hands-on. It was a lesson that was explained on a PDF, and then it was up to you to actually do the teaching. So that lesson is still in the Educalm Classroom program, and included in the free trial version. So with the free trial to Educalm Classroom, you get access to the training for teachers, resources for teachers, and then also the Introduction to Mindfulness unit for your students. You'll see the other themes that are available in Educalm Classroom if you choose to purchase a full membership, but you won't be able to access those other versions until you sign on. So this lesson that I'm going to talk about today is available to everyone. If you haven't signed up for the free trial yet, what are you waiting for? Go sign up. It's going to give you ready to use mindfulness lessons for your classroom, at least a month worth of daily lessons. So very useful, especially at the beginning of the year when things are busy, you got a lot on your plate, you want something just ready to use, ready to go, especially to start your year off on a calm and focused tone with your students. So the old mindfulness lesson, Introduction to Mindfulness lesson, is still there. Lots of people love doing that lesson. It involves creating a sparkle jar and explaining that our emotions are like the sparkles in a jar. So when you shake it, that's like when we're having a big emotion. And as those sparkles are swirling in the sparkle jar, that's how we can somehow feel overwhelmed by those emotions. And it's hard to see clearly and make good decisions. But when we rest and practice mindfulness, so then you would put the sparkle jar down and allow the sparkles to slowly settle. Allowing those sparkles to settle is like what we do in our mindfulness practice, where we sit, allow our emotions to settle so that we can think clearly, make good decisions, and be the best version of ourselves. So that's what's in that lesson. That's always been there. Lots of teachers really love it. Definitely check it out. But if you are one of those teachers that feels like, you know what, I don't fully feel comfortable teaching this myself. I just want to press play on a lesson so that my students learn from the experts. So that is what we've created for you, and we're so happy to share it. So in this video, we cover all the things that teachers might, or basically we cover the things that we do in our own classroom when we're teaching this to our students. So what's really important when introducing mindfulness to your students is to kind of give them the what, why, how, when, all those things. So we do that all in the video. We talk about what is mindfulness. Now, as I said, we have two versions of the video. We have one for elementary school, one for high school. So we've adapted the two to really focus on the things that are important for kids and teenagers at their developmental stage. So that's why we have the two videos. They're slightly different. They cover the same types of things, but in an age-appropriate way. So we talk about what is mindfulness so that it's clear to both the teacher and the student, everyone's on board of like, what does mindfulness mean? Then we talk about why it's going to help them. That's one thing that as I get more and more experience in teaching, I just realize that everything I do, I really try to focus on what's in it for them. Like, why should they care about this thing that I'm teaching? That's one thing that's been kind of interesting to learn as Josiane and I have started this business and learned about how to explain what you're offering to people so that they understand the value to them. I've really pulled that business side into my teaching side now to make sure that my students, no matter what we're doing in the classroom, they understand what's in it for them. And I find that that helps so much with engagement because it really turns everything we do from like, I want you to do this into this is why it's going to be helpful for you in your life. So we made sure to include that in the video. We talk about expectations. So what do they do during the practice? We talk about how they can sit, what they're expected to do while they're listening to the audio to make sure that those expectations are clear. And then we do a short mindful breathing exercise with the students that's age appropriate. So this is going to give them that introduction, that actual experience of what the practice is. And it's very short. It's 5 deep breaths. And with the elementary school age version, it's 5-finger breathing. So that's one of our most loved breathing exercises. So we made sure to include that in there. And that's going to give you, from the first day that you show this, you already have a breathing exercise that you can use with your students to support classroom management, to help students to focus and be ready for learning, to help them calm down before learning starts. All those great things that this breathing exercise can do. Now, once they've done that breathing exercise, we talk a little bit about kind of what to expect moving forward so that they understand that now we're going to be in a routine of doing these mindfulness practices with Educalm, and here's what's to come. The video is only 5 minutes long, just like all of our mindfulness practices, 5 minutes. So easy to integrate into your day, easy to make that part of your classroom routine. It's not going to take up too much time in your day, and you can just start getting into that routine of starting the class from a mindful space where everyone is calm, focused, and ready to learn, and then moving forward into your day in a state where brains are turned on, bodies are calm, and we're ready to do our best work. Now, after you've done this introduction lesson that you've shown to your students, we really recommend that you take the time to have a discussion. This can really help solidify for your students how this practice is helpful for them, why it's important for them. And then in turn, once they understand the benefit to themselves, it's going to really help with engagement. It's going to help them be on board with the practice. With this intro video, like I said, there's the sparkle jar lesson as well that you can teach by yourself. If that's a lesson that you've done in the past and you really like it, you can definitely still do the sparkle jar lesson, and you can do this introduction to mindfulness video as well. They definitely complement each other. If you are new to this, maybe you want to start with the video that you show them and then test out the sparkle jar lesson afterwards once you feel a little bit more comfortable because you've introduced it with the video that is done for you. So play with this, decide what feels best for your style and your comfort level. We want to make sure that you have lots of options for how to easily get a mindfulness practice started in your classroom. So once you have watched this video, or done the lesson with the sparkle jar, or both, next you're ready to jump into using the Educalm classroom audios. So if you've signed up for the free trial, you get access to the Start Here theme in Educalm Classroom. So once you click on the Start Here theme in Educalm Classroom, there's 2 different tabs. So there's like a long tab type of rectangle at the top of the screen that is blue. So the one that when it's blue, it means that you've clicked on that tab. And then when you click on the other tab, then that will turn blue. It's kind of hard to explain this when I can't show you the website. But I just want to make sure that everyone understands that's on the free trial, how the website works, so you're not missing the awesome resources that are there for you. So when you start the free trial, you get the Start Here theme for free. On the left tab, you have information for teachers. So there's all sorts of helpful resources in there. There's a whole video training on how to start mindfulness in the classroom with success. So that is free for you. It's a 40-minute training. So definitely something that you might want to do maybe during PD time, or maybe you just want to do it on your own time because you're just really jazzed and excited to get started with mindfulness. Definitely watch that video. It's going to show you exactly how to use our resources specifically, why it's important, it'll give you the information also and the kind of confidence to be able to talk about this with your colleagues. I know a lot of times when teachers are kind of the first teacher doing mindfulness in their school, they have a lot of questions about like, how do I get other people in my school on board? So watching that video can definitely help you to feel confident in how to explain the benefits to your colleagues or your administrators and how to do it yourself. And then it'll make you feel confident in actually using our resources. Now, you can definitely, if you're the type that likes to just jump in and use it right away, go with the flow, you can absolutely do that because our program is ready to use. So go with what feels right for you. That's the theme of the day. Go with what feels right for you. But that video is in there for training for you. And then a bunch of other resources that can be really helpful in getting started with this program. And then the intro lesson with the Sparkle jar is in that section as a PDF. Now, once you click on the other tab, which is called Introduction to Mindfulness Unit, and then there's in parentheses for using with your students to make it hopefully clear. When you click on that, then you get all the audios and this introduction video. So you'll see that there's orange drop-down menus. Now, when you click on the video orange drop-down menu, then you'll be able to click on and play this introduction to mindfulness video. Then with the audios, you'll see that there are 2-minute audios and 5-minute audios. Up to you to select which length you feel is the best fit for your students. With elementary school, you can start off by helping them have success right off the bat, starting with the shorter ones. And then once you see that they're having success, move on to the longer ones. I would say with middle school and up, you can absolutely start with the 5-minute versions right off the bat. Students tend to really love this practice right off the bat, especially middle school and high school. They really kind of understand the value, I think, and enjoy just this quiet time to themselves where they don't have to do any work. So it's nice, gets their brain ready for learning. So with those audios, you'll see that there are audio 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So with elementary school, you would listen to audio 1 every day for a full week. Then following week, you move on to audio 2. Listen to that every day for a full week. That repetition is super important. Routine repetition. We talk about that so much on the podcast, but you'll see that the more that you're listening to it, students are hearing it in a different way every day. Or maybe they're tuning out for a section of it on day 1 and then they listen to it again the next day and then they hear something new. That's all part of the mindfulness practice. Mindfulness is about paying attention to the present moment on purpose. It's about just experiencing kind of the simplicity of the moment, and that's different every day. So in a true mindfulness practice, it's a very simple exercise and practice that's pretty much the same. You're doing pretty much the same thing every day, which is just paying attention to the present moment. So that repetition is very key for gaining the skills and building the brain power, making those brain connections with that repetition, which is going to help those connections get stronger. Now with middle school and in high school, you can listen to audio 1 on Monday, audio 2 on Tuesday, audio 3 on Thursday, etc. until the end of the week, and then restart at 1 the following week. So this introduction to mindfulness unit is going to last you 5 weeks, or maybe a little less if you find with high school students, you're like, yeah, I think we're ready to move on to the next unit. Definitely you can do that. If you have a paid membership, you can move on to the next units. Now, we sometimes get questions with the Educalm Classroom program. How do you use the themes? In what order do you use them? Once you've watched or done the introduction to mindfulness unit, which is in the Start Here theme, after that, you can use the themes and the units in any order that you want. So go with what feels right for you. You can just do them in order. That works. Or if there's a specific theme that's calling to you, feels like a right fit for your students at that time, jump to that one. And then the mindful movement unit can definitely be used as movement breaks throughout the day. So you might want to use those at different times or you might just want to do the mindful movement for a whole month. Totally up to you. It's very flexible. So it can be as flexible as you want it to be or as linear as you want it to be. Just make sure you're starting with Introduction to Mindfulness unit and then moving on from there. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. I hope that explanation was helpful for you. Our goal, our intention is to make sharing mindfulness in your classroom for social emotional learning to be really easy. We want to remove the barriers because practicing mindfulness in the classroom, focusing on social emotional learning is the foundation that students need for not only to be ready for academics, but to be a good friend, to learn how to interact with others, to become more self-aware, to be able to self-regulate. It's really the foundation for all the things that students need to have success in and out of the classroom. So our intention is to make this very easy for you. Go try out the Introduction to Mindfulness video. Let us know how you like it. We would love to hear your feedback. You can contact us from the contact page on our website, educalm.com. If you haven't signed up for the free trial yet, go sign up for the free trial. If you are ready to purchase the full membership so that you have access to all the themes and you have a ready-to-use lesson for every single day of the school year, then I encourage you, go do that. As you heard in the sponsor section, we have a promotion going on right now that when you purchase Educalm Classroom before August 31st, 2021, we're going to give you our training for free, which is a $99 value. This training can be done by yourself. You can do it with your whole team during a PD day. Lots of ways that you can use it. All right. Now I'm going to play the audio for this video so you have an idea of how it goes, and then you can go check it out on the website. Have a wonderful week. Welcome to Educalm. We teach students and their teachers mindful strategies for managing emotions so that everyone can navigate life's ups and downs with more ease. In this video, we're going to teach you what mindfulness is and how it can help you in your everyday life. Let's get started. Have you ever felt worried or anxious? When you're worried or anxious, you might notice that your stomach feels tight, that it's hard to sit still, and that it's difficult to focus on anything else. Have you ever felt angry? When you're angry, you might feel your hands clenched into fists. You might feel hot, and you might say or do things that you wouldn't do if you were feeling calm. Have you ever felt excited? When you're feeling excited, you might feel full of energy. It might be hard to sit still, and you might keep thinking about the thing you're excited about over and over. These are all examples of emotions. Emotions are important because they help our brain to tell our body how it should feel and act. But sometimes our emotions are so big that we feel like we'll be stuck with them forever. Luckily, there's an exercise that we can do to help us get through our big emotions. It's called mindfulness. Mindfulness might feel relaxing, or it might feel fun, or it might even feel a little boring or frustrating at times. That's okay. As you keep practicing mindfulness, you'll learn strategies that will help you to feel your best and to be your best. Mindfulness is simple. You just have to sit in a comfortable position, remain quiet so that everyone can hear and participate, and listen to my voice as I guide you through a calming exercise. Let's try our first mindfulness exercise right now. First, notice how you're feeling right now. Maybe you feel calm, or worried, or excited. There's no right or wrong way to feel. Just notice whatever you're feeling. Now, hold one hand out in front of you. Use the pointer finger of your other hand to point at the place where your thumb and wrist meet. Take a deep inhale and trace your finger up to the tip of your thumb. Now exhale and trace down the other side of your thumb. Inhale, trace up your first finger. Exhale, trace down the other side. Inhale, trace up your second finger. Exhale, trace down the other side. Inhale, trace up your third finger. Exhale, trace down the other side. Inhale, trace up your pinky finger. Exhale, trace down the other side. Now, focus on how you feel again. Notice if you feel different or not now that we did the 5-finger breathing strategy. It's okay if you feel different, and it's okay if you don't. Good job! You've just completed your first mindful breathing exercise. Thank you for sharing your practice and your awesomeness with us today. You'll enjoy a calm moment to get your brain and body ready for learning with each Educalm practice.